Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Dakota from hello. This is Dakota from DentalPro, and today we're going to talk about why I chose my dental school. So here we go. So if you don't already know who I am, and if you haven't been following this channel, you should know that my name is Dakota, and I was recently accepted to Midwestern University's dental school in Arizona, Glendale, Arizona. And when I was actually going through my dental school application, I applied to 10 dental schools, and out of those 10 dental schools, I got 10 interviews. But out of those 10 interviews, I only went to 6 of them, and then out of those 6, I actually ended up withdrawing one of them. So I really only had 5 schools to choose from. So out of those 5 schools, I got 2 acceptances, and then I got 3 waitlists. Anyway, those 2 acceptances, I was accepted to Midwestern University, of course, and then I was also given an acceptance letter for University of Louisville in Kentucky. And anyway, so there was a lot of things that were going through my mind as to, what did I want in a dental school? And, it's a big decision because you're putting a ton of money into it and a ton of time into those schools. So what made me decide that I actually wanted to go to Midwestern? Well, let's talk about it. Now, these things aren't exactly going to be in order. It's just kind of right off the top of my head and things that I felt were the most important things. For me personally, they're not going to be the most important things for everybody, but this is kind of my background. First of all, I wanted a school that had a good location. And by good location, I meant that I wanted a school that would allow me to live really close to the school, and Midwestern was one of them. Just looking at the campus itself, if you were to look at it on Google Earth, you'd see that there's like housing all over that place. And so it's just really easy to live close to the school in that area. And the reason why that was important for me is because I actually have a family. So I am married and I actually have a baby on the way. And so if I need to go home and see my family for my lunch break, or if they want to come and see me while I'm on my lunch break just at school, they can do that, and that's really cool. Another thing that I thought about when choosing my dental school was what would be, where could I go to dental school that would give me the highest quality of education? And I went to 6 interviews, just like I said, and out of those interviews that I went to, I was extremely impressed by Midwestern University. Just walking through their clinic, for example, it was super, super busy. There was tons of patients, and everybody just kind of seemed happy. So yeah, this was just the school that seemed to be the best fit for me personally. It might not be the best fit for everybody, but for me and my family, it was the place where we felt we were going to have the best experience for 4 years. As far as quality of education, that was another thing that drew me to the school. The school there had everything that I wanted in a professional program. There's some dental schools that are more focused on research. There's other schools that are more focused on specializing, that kind of a thing. But my school in particular was super set on general dentistry, and they wanted to make the best general dentists that you can become. And so that was huge to me as well. And they have all the technology there to be able to do those things. Another thing as well that was really big for me personally was the patient clinic. There's a huge patient pool. And the clinic over there is super, super busy. When I went through my interview, it was like every student was working on somebody at that time. There was like, nobody was bored there. I mean, it was just like, there was so much going on. And that impressed me. It helped me to realize like, okay, I'm not gonna have to go find patients or scramble for certain procedures. Everything is there for me to become a good clinician. Another thing as well is that I have family that live really close to the school. I actually have a sister that lives about 30 minutes away, and so being able to be close to her, that was something that I felt would be kind of neat in school. Is on the weekends, my family can go meet up with her family, and just be kind of nice to have that. Another thing that drew me to the school as well was the quality of life that the students there seemed to have when I was going through my interview. The students just seemed to be happy, and the weather is great in the area. I mean, it's Arizona, so you're going to have like a month or, a couple of months where it's going to be pretty hot. But after that, it's just nice. And I do really well in nice weather and not so well in not very good weather. So that was just kind of my personal preference. Once again, that's probably not the same for everybody. Some people probably prefer really cold weather. I've been in cold weather for a few years now, and I realize that I hate it. And I do really well in hot weather as opposed to cold weather. So when I'm feeling good, that can help me focus a little bit more, and I can do that much better in school. And I think another thing as well is the structure of the school. So Midwestern's dental school, it actually goes off of a quarter system instead of semesters. For example, my first quarter, so it's 10 weeks and it's 20 credits as opposed to being 14 weeks and having it be like 35 credits or whatever the crazy number is that some schools do. I was happy about that. It's still going to be a ton of work, but the fact that they set it up that way just is a little bit easier for me to, to go through that type of system, as well as the way that they set up when you actually take your the first part of your board. So a lot of schools will have you take the first part of your dental school boards after your second year, but my school does it at the end of the first year. And so once you get done with that part, then years 2 through 4 is just focusing on your clinical skills, which is super, super cool to me. Another thing as well that my school does is they will actually, once you get into your third year, you will pair up with a fourth year student, and then vice versa. When you become a fourth year student, you pair up with a third year, and you actually do procedures together. So you will always have an assistant with you to do your procedures, which is something that's not always the case in other dental schools. And so yeah, that's just a little bit. There's probably some other things, but those are just some things right off the top of my head that I thought were some highlights that made me really decide that I wanted to go to Midwestern. Now, I will say there is one thing that I really didn't like about the school, and it is the cost. It's a very expensive school. It's a private school, but if you've seen any of my other videos, you'll know that dental school is just expensive. And sometimes you can't get away from that. So even though it was expensive, I still decided that it was going to be the best experience for my family personally. So anyway, that's really about it. If you have any other questions, be sure to leave a comment below. And thank you so much for watching. You guys are awesome. We'll see you in the next video. Keep living the dream.